Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About House. I'm Todd.
I'm Juana.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about a generic topic. It's applicable anywhere in the U.S., even here in Las Vegas. New home construction. It's from an article that came out February 16th. New home construction fell in January for the fifth straight month. There's some numbers in the article we're going to go over, but let's talk about this. Why are new home builders backing off? Because we already know that the leading indicators are that they're building even less because the building permits are way down.
Right. So
why are they building less?
So first of all, it's normal for home starts to be down in January, right? Because it's cyclical. That they tend to have to start less homes in the winter, which that's normal. But they are down more than they should be, right?
Substantially more.
Right. So that's really the big concern here, and my puzzlement with this is, and it just never ends, right? Look, we have insufficient housing stock. So even with interest rates having gone up, home builders pulled back because they learned their lesson last time, so to speak, from the last housing crash, 2008, 9, 10, and they didn't want to get caught with their pants down, so to speak. But this is different. This is so much different. They're just looking at interest rates in isolation without considering the lack of inventory. I suggest that they would still be able to move their inventory because of the overall lack of inventory in the market. Like I said, they were concerned that they would have to carry their houses longer and they wouldn't be able to turn them quite as fast. And so, of course, that is costly to them and it would cut into their profit margin. I understand that. I respectfully disagree with their choice.
Okay, really quick, I want to talk about new home builders. Let's just split the market into three, areas: low-end homes, medium homes, and high-end homes. Where are the new home builders predominantly building?
That's a great question. So new home builders are predominantly in that middle and upper tier. They are not in the bottom very much. And the reason for that is because the middle and the upper is where the money is. That's where the profit is.
Wait, hold on a minute. You're telling me that new home builders, like all these national builders, are not altruistically just trying to provide homes for people, starter homes and things like that they're only interested in profit?
They are a business, and they are for profit business.
They're publicly traded.
Right. So remember, look, if you've got a plot of land that you're going to build homes on, are you going to build homes that are starter homes that have a lower profit margin, or on the same plot of land, are you going to build middle homes and upper end homes that have a greater profit margin? It's one plot of land. What are you going to choose? You're going to choose the homes that have a higher profit margin.
Almost all the homes that have been built in Las Vegas, even if you go out to areas that I would say are not necessarily desirable, are all at least median price and above. And if you go out to most of Summerlin and most of the Green Valley, McDonald, Highlands, the southern areas where they're a little more desirable. Like I have never ever walked into so many model homes that were like our starting price is $1,050,000.
Right. Right.
That's like a relatively new thing here in Las Vegas.
It is a relatively new thing, but and we've talked about this before. As far as of course, it depends on location. You can see. Here in Las Vegas, you can have the exact same floor plan by the exact same builder, and they're 20 miles apart or 10 miles apart, and the price is $100,000 different, right?
Right.
So there is a lot of that, and as a percentage of the price of the home, it might be 30%. So it's pretty significant.
How does this affect the rest of the housing market?
So it's interesting because the rest of the housing market kind of reacts in the same way. So when you look at house flippers are different than new home builders. Remember, new home builders are focusing on the middle and upper end, while house flippers are focusing on the lower and middle end because there's more room for them there. So everybody's got a role to play when it comes to housing inventory.
But what about how does this affect home prices and inventory going forward I'm going to show you the next slide, then I'll ask you the question. Housing starts, a measure of new home construction, fell by 4.5% in January from December. That was just in 1 month. It's down 21.4% from a year ago. So home builders are building less. Remember, there's a lag effect here. First of all, is this a canary in the coal mine for what's getting ready to happen in the housing market?
Yes.
And what does canary in the coal mine mean? Where does that phrase? Because I've heard on another podcast it's used all the time.
Yeah, and I've used it on the videos before too.
What does it mean?
So canary in the coal mine means that what used to happen, and I don't know if it still does, but they stay canaries in coal mines, and when the canaries died, they knew that the miners had to get out right away because the canaries, remember, have really small lungs, and so the toxic gases are going to kill them first and the miners next, so they would get out of there.
It was CO2 specifically,
right.
Yeah. The CO2 would kill them, and they'd say, there's CO2 built up, let's get out of here.
Right.
And they would get out of there.
Right.
So what is this an indication of? Home builders are building less, and we have less inventory. Aren't we going to have 6-8 months or a year from now even? Because we know it's cyclical. It's going to, inventory's dropping. We know it's going to go back up in the fall, right? But it's going to drop again. And do we end up today, because we're going to do a video a year from now, and we're going to show the inventory today, and we're going to show inventory a year from now today. My contention is inventory will be less than it is today because of stuff like this, because there's less houses out there to be transacted.
Right. I mean, look, the less you build, the less inventory you're going to have because houses need to be built. When you're keeping in mind, migration, immigration, births, all of this, we need homes. Everybody has to live somewhere. And we're already doubled up. So remember that. We're already doubled up. We already have multi-generational homes, right? So it's not like that's really going to solve the problem. If anything, some of these people might want their own home at some point. They might not want to keep living multi-generationally. And that's going to become more difficult as inventory continues to shrink. Now, is inventory going to grow? Yes. Significantly enough for everybody who says that they would like to buy a home? Sadly, no. I mean, we did a video not that long ago based on an article that they surveyed a ton of people, and it came out that something like 37 million Americans want to buy a home in 2023. And I'm like, well, good luck, because we're only going to...
It's like 10% of the population.
Right. Good luck, because we're only going to transact about 4 million homes.
Do some math on this. Look at the number of people in the U.S., which is well over, it's 300 to 400 million, right?
Right.
And only 4 million homes are going to transact. It's not like there's a flood of homes that are just being dumped on the market. There's not. And we know right now there's only 630 or so thousand nationally available, and that number's declining rapidly.
Right. So look, supply and demand, right? That really is the name of the game. So long as the supply stays low, the demand stays high, prices are going to remain stable. The only reason why prices are not going to shoot through the roof is because interest rates are high, and that's kind of keeping people, some people on the sidelines. Not everybody, but some people. So because some people are on the sidelines, that's what's keeping prices stable or rising at a lower rate. Because if it wasn't for that, if we had 3% interest rates again with this level of inventory, forget it. There would be not a house to buy. There'd be a bazillion offers on every property. It'd be chaos all over again.
The whole country would be California. They would just take the map of California and erase all the other borders and just put an arrow and say, it's all California now. Because that's literally what people complain about in parts of... I have a friend who was an agent in this area called Laguna Niguel. It's a super affluent, really beautiful area. No one ever sells their house. And there's never any inventory, and any inventory that's there always goes super fast for a ton of money, right? Then the whole country is going to become like that. Okay, so the last question, and you can wrap it up. What has to happen before home builders build an appropriate number of homes? Because the people that are watching our videos are all pissed. I can tell by the comments. They're all pissed that they can't go buy a house because there's not enough of them. They don't have choices, and they're waiting for something to happen.
Well, that's a really good question. So first of all, I'm with you because I'm interested in buying something too, and I'm having a hard time too. So I get it. And what has to happen is more inventory, both from the standpoint of new home builders and from the standpoint of people who have properties that maybe would like to do something else with the money and would like to sell them. That would be nice, but I don't think that either one of those is going to happen. As far as sellers bringing properties to market, I don't see that happening anytime soon. They just don't have the incentive, and they don't have anywhere to go. So even if they were going to sell their house, where are they going to go? Because there isn't any inventory for them to buy. And as far as the builders are concerned, they have such a long spool up time that it takes a long time for builders to bring houses to market. There are a lot of hurdles to overcome. Here in Las Vegas, we've been talking about a new master plan community in the Northwest, and that's still a ways away from being approved, from the land being sold to the builders and all that good stuff. So that community is still probably at least 18 months from being anything reasonable to where somebody can see what it's going to become, let alone to actually be built.
And it's still a 10 to 15 year build out.
Oh, yeah.
And we still have 80,000 people a year moving here.
Right.
So it's not like, well, who's going to buy all these homes? The people that are moving here are going to buy all the homes.
Right.
Right.
So that's kind of our story. Just remember, supply and demand. There's no supply, there's demand. So prices are going to, at the very least, remain stable, if not increase, certainly through the spring, which is partly natural, but partly a function of what's going on in the market. Please leave us a comment and tell us what you think, what's happening in your market. If we annoyed you, if we entertained you, if we
Mostly annoyed them.
If you appreciate Todd's salmon color shirt.
It's not pink, it's salmon.
Okay.
Marines don't wear pink, we wear salmon.
That's right. Then please like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.